Okay, so I'm going to be answering question number one. So you asked, does the fear of death make us all cowards? Um, you know, I found that to be kind of a really interesting question because it's always the big issue of life and death. There's a lot of people who do fear death, and then you have your other group of people who are ready to accept death at any given time. Some people have this idea that I'm going to die, so I'm going to live my life the way I want to. But then there's also the other people who have the idea of I'm going to die, but I want to live as long as I possibly can. Um, so that kind of got me thinking about like fate and if it exists or not. So going back to Viking excerpts, a lot of them believed in fate very, very hard. So when they would go into battle, they would expect and hope to die. So it was kind of interesting to tie that in because they kind of think that they don't fear their death. They go into their battles doing everything they can, and if they die, that's honestly good for them. They get to go to their heaven. So I think in this modern society, as far as death goes, I don't think it really makes people cowards, but obviously for the most part of society, like people want to try to live their lives as long as they can. People try to avoid doing stupid things that would end their lives sooner. But then there are the people who accept, hey, I'm doing this and it might shorten my life. I might drink a lot, it might shorten my life. I might smoke a lot, it's going to shorten my life or give me cancer. There are those people who just accept it's an accepted risk. So I think honestly, at this point as a whole society, I don't think it makes us cowards. I think with the advances in modern health and science, people are expecting to live longer as a whole. And I think that it's going to bring a lot different future as technology and the medical industry grows and expands. People are going to start living longer and longer and longer. And I think as that grows, the fear of death is going to shrink by a lot. People are going to be so reliant on medical technology to keep them alive that it's going to really change our society's outlook on that topic. And then at the same time, there's going to be people who will sit there and wonder, is science now becoming the role of God? Is it keeping people alive longer than it should, and all those kinds of thoughts. But overall, I don't really think that the fear of death makes us cowards anymore. I think we've come a long way since these times of Hamlet, and yeah.